Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another Minisode episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. I am joined today by my special guest, Leslie Mueller of Resonance Myofascial Release just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Leslie, how is it going?
It's going really fabulous, actually. So much improved from the last podcast recording. I have no more pain. The pain is gone, so that's good.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so your pain has resolved. Let's just remind the audience, you had been dealing with nerve pain in your arm, shoulder.
Left arm, yeah, shoulder.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell everybody how you got better. Like, what was the route to getting better?
I get weekly MFR treatment. I continued the weekly MFR, got extra sessions as I could, but I did a 2-week intensive at Malvern the end of March. And so the pain started mid-January and it was up and down roller coaster. And after I left the intensive, I was like, I think I'm better, but I was still kind of scared, like what's it's still there. Every week, every single week, I kid you not, I would be like, oh, I'm better. I just happened to notice it weekly. And I would say I'm 95%. I still feel something in my arm, but it's not pain. It's not like it was, but the intensive and so something.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. Yeah.
And I was coaching you when you started to have this pain, when you started to go through it, and you were really worried. Like, I've built all this up in my business because we've been working together for quite a while. And it was like this thought that like, you're going to lose it all. And that this is kind of like a pattern of thinking, like I did all this work and now look, I'm screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But you were able to make some really on purpose decisions about how to run your practice while not feeling well. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what your schedule looked like and also about kind of what your money looked like running that kind of a schedule?
Well, I capped my appointments at 2 a day, and sometimes I would do 3, but maybe I already had 3 on the schedule, but I capped it indefinitely at 2 a day. Mm-hmm. And if people canceled, like, I didn't refill it. I was just fine with it. I'm like, it's okay. And basically, I mean, some days were good and some were terrible. And I just kind of had to take care of myself, but I calculated at 2 a day, it was more than enough to meet like my, whatever, the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. And focused on receiving MFR and the Malvern T for T's were already on the books, and just taking care of myself. So yeah, business wise, I really just kind of had to be future focused in terms of, this is going to heal. This is just temporary. It's going to heal. It's going to heal, and it's going to be okay. But yeah. It was a challenge.
Yeah. Well, cause you didn't know, like, there's no guarantee you're going to get better, right? You had to really trust in what you tell your clients and really be willing to walk the walk, like go through your entire own healing process. I mean, this has got to make you a better therapist, I would think, having gone through this. How has it affected your business now that you're kind of through this?
Well, business-wise, so now I knew enough, like, when you come back, don't just immediately go seeing a ton of people. So I'm now capping at 3 a day as far as what anyone could book online. However, I have added like a 4th here and there, and it's been fine. It's been no problem. So
that's so good.
Keeping it at like 12, 13 a week, but each week I've added maybe here or there, added people in, and it's been fine. It's been good. I've felt good. It's just made me also very kind of tuned into the pain that my clients can be in, and really recognizing the up and down of healing, and the treatment can stop, like that intensive treatment that is equivalent to like 6 months of weekly treatment, and that the effects are still there. And I mean, I support it by continuing to get weekly treatment, but just the fact that each week I feel better.
Right. And I think going through that, witnessing that, feeling it in your body, and then reminding yourself constantly, like, yes, I had this intensive treatment and it's continuing to work. And the same is true for the treatments that you give to your clients once or twice a week. Like that treatment is still working, maybe months into the future. And we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Everybody is different. Like John posted in Insight the other day, like there's 8 billion different combinations of fascial strain on the planet. Pick your poison. Where do you think it is? But when we're doing this work and we continue on with it, and we're willing to tell our clients the benefits of continuing to receive, even while not having the outcome that you want yet, like you're creating the outcome you want eventually.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so important for us as therapists to remember that, like, this is cumulative and it continues to work. It's not a one and done. And just because you feel better, you should stop. Like, no.
And I knew I could go back if necessary. And it's like, I know what to do. I can do another intensive at Malvern if necessary. I can up the number of MFR sessions I get weekly at home. It's like, I have choices, I have options. Yeah. The feeling
it was still scary though, right? Like you have a human brain. Did it help you relate to like exactly what your clients go through and exactly what their objections could be in coming to see you when they're in so much pain and like not knowing that they're going to get better?
Yeah, it's the trusting, because I remember Carol at Malvern telling me, she said, because I mentioned when I did a year and a half ago, when I did a week, that it took 3 weeks, I felt like in a different body. And she said, it might take twice as long this time because you're getting twice as much treatment. And just that stuck with me. But yes, the trusting in the process and talking to them each time about, if you feel worse after a session, that's actually a good thing. It is part of the healing process, and just being able to relate to them and keep it just real. Like, it can be worse. Sometimes you'll feel great. This was my experience with it. Even just, I've been through that. I know what that's like. And that sucks because you can't do what you want to do. I have someone that came in to see me. Oh my gosh, Heather, her husband had to carry her in. She got a herniated disc, and it was just diagnosed at the ER a few days before she came in to see me. She had the appointment on the books, first appointment. And I don't know, a year ago before coaching, if I had someone that had to be carried in, I don't know how torqued up I would have been in my own, can I help this person? And that was very much, I mean, of course, doing an intake, talking to her. He carried her into the table. She can't stand or walk without severe pain. And really focusing on intuition and, just in the feel, everything. I was like, just feel.
Yeah. Well, and the part where you can show up for patients that are in that amount of pain, like, that, like, some people wouldn't be able to do it, right? Like, it's so intense and like there's so much responsibility, but like putting the responsibility aside and just showing up human to human, knowing that you have the tools that will help her, whether it's this treatment or 6 treatments in, like, it's going to work. I think it's like really leaning into that belief. And I feel like your belief in your tools in the process, like, and in your ability to help someone has really shifted. And it's just like inevitable that people will get these results when they work for you.
It has shifted, strong belief. And I didn't feel like, oh no, I got to send you to an expert to rule out all this stuff. I mean, she told me the doctor she'd been to and everything. And I'm like, I know I'm not going to hurt her. All I could possibly do is help her, but so good. The belief, that was a massive shift in coaching, was the belief in MFR itself, me as an MFR therapist, and of course, in my clients, not only that they could get better, but that they could be like open to my personality and open to like this idea that it gets worse before it gets better, or open to the idea of regular treatment. The belief that they would want what I can offer, like that they want what's on the other side of their pain.
Yeah, I love it. I think just having that thought that my clients want what I have is like so foundational to getting fully booked.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're out
Yeah.
there thinking nobody wants this, nobody understands, like nobody gets it, talking about it is hard, like you never learn how to make it easy.
Right. And that's where I was when I started coaching. Everything is hard. I don't know. I didn't think nobody wanted it. I had that weird glitch where I was like, but they don't want it from me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they want it, just not from me.
And other people can do it, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
And tell me,
and it's a subtle thing, right? Like that seemed like the truth at the time.
I did.
Yeah. And now it's just like, oh my gosh, my brain is so cute and adorable. Like, of course my clients want this from me.
Mm-hmm.
I think living where you live and also like having coached a lot of Richmond area therapists all at the same time, which is incredible. It just goes to show that there are enough people, like there's plenty of bodies and nobody has to be in competition. Like you guys all have your different businesses and your people want MFR from you and they want it from the next therapist. And then, like there's people that want it from them and the next person. And like, nobody has to be in competition with each other. It's just kind of nice.
It is. And I referred a client to another therapist. This is my cat Coco for the video.
Hey, Coco.
Solely on an intuitive sense. They were geographically closer. They're a little newer than I am in business and in doing this work. And it was pure intuition. And I just needed to offer it to the client. And I was like, I would love to see you. I'd love nothing more than to have you on my table. But if that's not feasible, try so-and-so a lot closer, And I didn't have any feeling of lack about that. There was no lack, no like mine or anything like that, which in the past I might refer to someone else because I thought I wasn't enough. And this wasn't that at all. It was just a sense of that person. Like I need to tell her this,
That's so good. And also they still might come to you, but it's like giving them the option because you're so clean and you're thinking like, oh, the most important thing is that they get treatment. So here's a bunch of options. I would love to treat you, but here are these two, just in case this is better for you. So that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see her. I'll get an update hopefully on how she is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This cat.
I'm loving it actually.
I am. Okay. I might have to scoot her out of the room. Okay.
All right. We're back. We let the cat out. So funny. Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your practice? Like what is fully booked for you? What did you think fully booked was? And like, what actually is fully booked now that you've been doing this for a while?
Like what did I think at the beginning of coaching?
Yeah.
So I was remembering this today. I think I thought it was 12 because I can't see more than 12 people. I will be too emotionally drained from it.
Oh yeah. I remember that. And you like needed to know people ahead of time. Yes.
Right. I was so much fear and like, and I've had so much growth in that area. And I don't feel the same anymore. I am not emotionally drained. I may feel drained if the week is too busy and I'm still kind of sorting that out, but it's not like it was. So right now, right this moment, fully booked is like 14. And that's because I'm still letting myself ease back from the arm. But I think fully booked is 16 and and I'll try 20 at some point. That might be too much for me, but I'm open to it, if that makes sense. So right this moment, fully booked is 14. Okay. And then once there's even more strength here and the 14 is not hurting me, then we'll open up to more.
I love that you're really dialed into your body and like your physical capability of it. And you're not pushing because you need to make more money or you need to have a certain number to feel like adequate, because I think sometimes people set their schedules based on, well, there's this many hours in the week. So, and I need to look productive. So I need to have 20 or 30 people on my schedule in order to feel successfal. Like you can literally feel successful at any number you set.
Yes. And I've had experiences of clients canceling where I no longer have felt lack about it. More before it was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But like, I feel like, okay, I just don't feel the lack that I used to, the feeling about all the thing business related, the feeling.
Yeah. What do you think like the value is of no longer feeling lack?
Everything, because then I don't make decisions or actions out of the lack feeling, because then I'm just gonna come across as like needy or graspy, or I'll get angry about something that's not necessary to get angry about. I mean, I felt awkward and I had to enforce a cancellation fee with someone, and I was like, oh, I had to really sit there for 20 minutes and talk myself through it before I called them back to address it. And it was not fun, but I freaking lived through it.
Yeah.
And I've developed the ability, and this is thanks to coaching, to just be freaking uncomfortable. But long term, this is what needs to be done for the business or for me or whatnot. And by the same token, it could be another client, could be the same situation, and it could be no problem. I'm going to waive the cancellation charge. That's a case by case thing. But yeah, the ability to, I forgot your original question, but that ability to be uncomfortable.
Well, to not decide things out of lack, right? To not live in lack so much. Like I'm sure lack comes up, right? Like these practice emotions are there, but to not live in that space, I would imagine is pretty priceless.
Yes, it is pretty priceless. And yeah, and I'll get a chance to learn it again in the future. I'm sure like something will come like, here,
I'll circle back.
You really feel this way?
Yeah. Let's test it out and see how you do now. Yeah. That's so funny. What do you think's your favorite part of coaching, or your favorite thing you've learned? Hey, podcast listener, I want to make sure that you know and understand that you can become a founding member of my brand new 12-month coaching program right now. Get in before we even start our live coaching, or get in the week we start live coaching, August 1st. There's zero benefit to waiting for your business to be in the perfect situation in order for you to join. There's so much power for being in community and learning from others that are going through the same things that you're going through, or one step ahead of you. Be in this group and get to work on your business right now. Create the foundations to have a six-figure myofascial release business. Do it now. Do it today. I'm so excited to be your coach. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/coaching today and join right now. I'll see you over there. And again, live coaching begins August 1st. You get instant access to the course right after you sign up. Now back to the show.
Oh, wow. That's a good question. There's so much I love about it. No, all right. It's the thought work. That ultimately is it. Because when first learning that, I was like, okay, I understand this intellectually. It really comes down to what I think. It's not a new concept. As a child, my father told me your thoughts create your reality. And so for years, I'm going, your thoughts create your reality. What does that mean? I still can't quite explain what it means. However, I can say I have had the lived experience of like being able to create in yourself the feeling you want, which is related to your thoughts, is the way. I think that's my favorite thing, because it's translated to so many areas in my life. And the skills to also, when something's gnawing at me, to like work through it and figure out what is it that I'm thinking that's underneath that. And sometimes it's something that's just like, oh, I can let that go, or like, wait, that's irrational. I think that's my favorite. I like the community, the interaction, the tool, and it's the thought work.
Yeah. I mean, it is the whole reason why I became a coach, was my coach, showing me this tool. And then I was like, I want to learn, I want to be certified in this tool so I can teach it to other people. Like, and really like only with MFR therapists in mind, because it was so mind blowing and life-changing for me. I was like, if every MFR therapist can learn thought work, can learn that their thoughts are creating their results, and can learn how to manage their minds, they literally could help everybody and feel so much better doing it and not burn out. Right. Because I think sometimes we as MFR therapists, we think that it's hard to talk about MFR. We think we can't charge what we want. We've got to give it away. we carry this heavy burden as healers, right? But it doesn't have to be a heavy burden. It can be light, it can be easy, it can be fun, and you can be wealthy, and that's okay. And here are some tools to help you get there. Like that's phenomenal. And it'll continue to be my goal. Like my definite goal is to help every MFR therapist become a six-figure earner. And pretty soon, like everybody's going to go beyond that too. Like we have it already happening. So
yeah. And the thought work, interestingly, because the thought work is the reason that I'm like, oh, I could see 4 people in a day, no problem. Versus before it was 3. That's
because your thought before was like, I need
process.
a lot of space. Like this is taking up all my energy. Yeah. Just thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And it created that reality for you too, that
Right.
it was difficult to see all those people. But the only thing that changed literally was your thought about it, which is just crazy. I mean, crazy good. Yeah.
Right.
So good. Okay. Well, do you want to share like your numbers that you were like maybe pre-coaching, or what do you have? What numbers do you have?
Here's what I have. This is pretty cool. So, so I looked at my income projected through the end of May. So I have 2 more appointments in May that people could book. And I will make what I made all of 22 by the end of May, which is in 2 weeks or something. Yeah. So that's really awesome.
Okay. So tell me more about that. You'll make what you made in the entire year
in 1 year of 2022. Yeah. Oh no, not in 1 month. I wish.
Okay, but in 5 months of the year, you'll have made
at least 5 months of the year. I'm at my total income for last year. So last year was right around 30,000, and I'll be right around 30,000 at the end of May. And that's with like 2 weeks off at Malvern, another
only
5
seeing
days
2 clients a day,
family thing. 3 months of a reduced schedule, still a little bit reduced now. I was off 3 days for classes last week too. So
okay, this is fucking amazing. Okay, so you made in 5 months what you made in the entire year of 2022.
Yes, while having to reduce hours.
Time off, way reduced hours. What are your thoughts about this? Like, this is a huge accomplishment. Like, has this set in? Like, I have goosebumps everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And like, I just feel really solid and steady. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
It feels like a foundation. It doesn't feel like a fluke. I'm not like, oh my God, I don't know how I did it. I wouldn't be human if I wasn't like, okay, I hope that I mean, sometimes, because I'm not fully booked out through the end of the year, but, and that's,
I mean, there's still 7 months left, right? We have June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
Yeah. And I think I have like 40 sessions on the books for June. Right now I'm at 50 in May, which is good. And that's, are we in May? Yeah,
we're in May.
And, I just lost my train of thought there, but okay. I feel it. I own it. I feel it in my body. I'm proud of it. I've like told Derek, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to make all of 22's income by the end of this month. He's like, oh, that's great. And I know it's just going to go up.
Well, yeah, like this is just the beginning. And I mean, there's 7 months left in the year. Yeah. Even if you only double, like it's inevitable that you'll double this and end with 6K, but like,
I think it'll be higher.
I think it'll be higher. Yeah. Well, because also like this, like the result you have now is all of the months where you were injured and like not working as much, taking time off. Like what happens when you can have a fully booked schedule going forward?
Right.
I can't wait to find out what you end the year with. That's going to be.
Yeah, I know. It'll be so exciting too.
And and it's already great. Even if you didn't see any more clients the rest of the year, like you already created what you did last year, and you probably thought that was pretty good last year.
I judged myself so harsh. I didn't think it was good, but that's
what if it was? What if it was awesome?
Yeah. And I don't, I don't judge myself like that. Well, I try not to.
Yeah. Well, you catch yourself earlier now.
That's what it is. I catch myself. And I also learned to, I stopped like talking myself out of money so much. Like I finally in my mind, I only have a few people to tell this if they try to book again, like the discounts are done. Like other than I have 2 people.
Discounts are done. That's so powerful.
But they're, other than the package, but like current students, I'll give them a discount and I'm fine. And then with that, but in my head, I've warred with myself in my head when former students come and I'm like, well, no, they're not current anymore. And the price is, it just kind of has to be, is what it is.
Yeah, you're just
I was
deciding it is.
thinking even like, oh, maybe I should treat this person for free. Like those thoughts still pop up. Like I have a gift to offer and it should be free because that person is in pain. Like it makes no sense. So I've had to still working on like, this was the other thing. And like, if they just buy the first session, like I don't need to offer to include their first session in the package. I mean, I spend more time with them with the intake and everything. They can do that later. I mean, like, I can start it later. So I'm not proactively offering, like, I have to make this less expensive for you.
I think this is such a huge shift from wanting to discount and give everything away for free to shifting into like discounts are done just because I decided they were. Like nothing's gone wrong. This is just time for this shift. And that alone is going to change the income, like the actual results of the income that you make. Yeah. And the thing is like the result you have now with the 30K in 5 months is a result of all the decisions you started to make about a year ago when we first met.
Right.
And like and that's why it is still just beginning. And like the momentum that you've created from a year ago, like you don't even know the results of that money yet. You don't even know.
Right. Right.
It's so exciting.
It is and it did start about it was starting, and then I did Raise Your Rates boot camp. It was starting by listening to your podcast. And then when I had access to the course information, it really started in coaching because I got really, really challenged. It's really important. It was necessary for me somehow, being challenged and being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I guess that's part of how I learned to just be uncomfortable because I had to be so uncomfortable.
Yeah. You were just in it and you were so committed to sitting in it and not, like I only have my experience of your experience as the coach, right? And you just kept coming back and being like, whatever was coming up and like continually getting coached on it. And also it never seemed like you were in, like it had to happen right now or I'm going to give up. Like you never put this time limit on yourself for it to start to be perfect or you were going to quit. And some people do that. They're like, if I don't do this in blah, blah, blah time, like I'm done. And like, you can see the results of that in their business. And you just kept going, even when it was hard, even with an injury, even, like all of the circumstances, you just kept going. And that's going to continue to pay off for you for years to come. So congratulations.
Thank you. And I think it never occurred to me to do that. And there's literally nothing else I want to do. There isn't. I'm not like, I just want to go be a painter. Sometimes I'm like, I'd like to paint again, but there's nothing else I want to do. Like, I think.
Yeah, you might as well go all in with your MFR business if that's what you want to do, right? Like for everybody.
So much. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Well, we've got to wrap up. So tell everybody where they can find you if they want to follow you or book an appointment with you.
Okay. On the web at resonance.myofascialrelease.com, and there's contact information there. You can find me north of the city of Richmond and Hanover or at seminars, which is awesome to meet people at seminars.
Okay, awesome. Well, everybody go follow Leslie. If you're in the area, book an appointment with her, get her magic hands on you. Thank you so much for being a client of mine. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your numbers and just being willing to put yourself out there and be seen. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And thank you for this whole group coaching process, because this is the big difference I thought about before, like where I was and where I am. So this is what I can say today. Like today I'm committed and I wasn't before. And that's kind of everything. So, and I have confidence and can take action. So that commitment. Yeah.
I love it so much. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today and for being a fly on the wall while we talk and have a conversation. I appreciate all of you for watching and listening in, and I'll see you on another Minisode soon. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. My mission is to help every MFR therapist become a part of the movement where no MFR therapists ever under-earn or burn out. Join my 12-month coaching program. You'll spend the first 90 days setting up your foundation to create your six-figure business. Then you'll go to work and uncover exactly what's holding you back from the business that you want and desire. Get support while you raise your rates, set your policies, and learn how to talk about MFR and how to sell MFR in service of your clients. Learn exactly how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town and even if you've had your business for years. This program is open to all MFR therapists who want to create what is possible when you stop playing small and start showing up in your full power as the John Barnes trained MFR therapist you are. Put your magic to work in the world and help more people get out of pain and back to active lifestyles. I'll help you do it. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/coaching and sign up right now.